Hello, welcome to How to Play Qwixx Longo, a game for 1 to 5 players. Now, I'm about to make a sheet, but I have a confession to make. I really don't want to be doing things this way. I don't want to be a pirate here. I understand there's a trade war going on between the United States and Germany, and I want to give money for these things because there's some great games that NSV makes and I want to buy them, but there's some really weird charges that don't make any sense. Like, if I'm buying, X amount of games worth X dollars, I don't want to have $100 dollars charged just to get them. I mean, it's more money to pay for shipping than it is for the games themselves. And honestly, they should let GameRite or some North American printer print these sheets out, because I don't want to be this way. I really don't like doing things this way. I want to give NSV money, but they withhold these things from us for years before they ever release them to the North American market. And God only knows how much longer it's going to be before we actually get to play Qwixx Longo. And honestly, they put the rule books online. The components are available for the general public. And you could literally make your own scoring sheets like I'm doing here with a pen and some markers. Because I could hear some people complaining, hey, some of us don't have printers. Okay, I acknowledge that. You don't have printers, so this is how you do it, by hand. With some crayons, colored pencils, magic markers, whatever. This is easily doable. So I got my 4 forfeit spots. I got my Qwixx Longo word. Now I should have paused and wrote a 7X on there because you need at least 7 crosses before you're able to lock up a row. That's something that's different in this game versus standard Qwixx, but it's mostly the same game with one other rule, and that other rule is that you have 2 lucky numbers. Now I don't know how the sheets are made for the standard game, so I just went ahead and rolled the 2 public dice twice and came up with 3 and 13. So now anytime I roll the public dice and they equal 3 or 13, I'm able to make an X in the color row that has the least amount of X's. And if it's tied, I get to pick which one I want to put it in. So anyways, we play like normal, standard Qwixx. You take the 2 white die, or in this case the beige and the gray die. You combine their total, that equals 13, so I'm able to use it in the color where it has the fewest. And I don't see another number I want to cross out, so I'm just going to keep going. And it's pretty much standard Qwixx. You're able to take a public number. Everybody's able to play that if you're playing with multiple people. And if you're the roller, you're able to take the public number and the private number, which is going to be a combination of any of the colored dice in either the beige or the gray dice, or in the case of the actual Qwixx Longo, the 2 white dice. And you're able to play both of those marks if you want. Now, as long as you can make one mark either with the public or the private number, you've made a legal play, a valid play, and you don't take a forfeit. If you cannot do either one, or you just don't want to, you could mark a forfeit. Now, I've already marked one, and if I get 4 of those, the game ends. But if you manage to get 7 crosses on a particular color, and you get the triggering number, which in the case of blue and green is 3 or 2, in the case of yellow or red is 15 or 16. If you get those numbers, either one of them, you can lock that color out, and then that dice goes out of the game. Now, if you do that, somebody else does that a second time. If somebody else, or you yourself, lock out another color, once 2 colors are locked out of the game's over, and then you tabulate your score. Highest score wins. The other ending mechanism is if any player gets 4 forfeits, it doesn't matter which player, the game is over. Now, they don't have to count a forfeit unless it's their turn. Only on your turn should you be scoring a forfeit. So now we just locked out the yellow row. I went ahead and scored it. I got 36 points for it, so I had 7 X's prior to the 15 getting crossed off. And so that's the end of yellow. The dice goes out of the game. We don't use the yellow dice anymore. Nobody else can make marks on yellow. Everybody scores their yellow. We just keep rolling with it. We keep going. This being a solitaire game, I'm always the roller, so it's not much to worry about. But if you're playing with other players, that's what you look out for. So there's a 3rd forfeit. There was nothing there to take. I got a 9. I do not have a 9 available because the yellow is done for. But I did have a private number, so I didn't have to take a forfeit. So now we're just trying to figure out what we're going to do now. And looks like we've got the red scored. Looks like the game's going to end because that's the 4th forfeit. Managed to score 67 points, and of course the more X's you get, the more points you get on that color. And if you actually want to play this out in public with some strangers, otherwise known as friends you haven't met, come to our subreddit Card Game Meetups. If you click under the show more in the description, you'll be given the links to all the other video channels that I enjoy, and the music and the rules, and a link to Card Game Meetups. In addition to that, you get a link to a Discord channel where we talk about card games, dice games, domino games all day, every day. Wonderful place. If you're a musician, you got some instrumental music that you want us to use, go ahead and leave a link in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to share this video with friends and family that you know love playing traditional games. And I want to thank today's musician, Craig Scott Frost, for his excellent music today. Do check out his channel. He's got some wonderful stuff. This one was a particular cover of the Animotion song Obsession. So do check out his channel, and I hope to see you next video.